Kali Brantz, who will be in conversation with Khadim Batti, who is the co-founder and CEO of Whatfix. And they will be speaking about the Whatfix story, how Whatfix was born out of India and is today a global B2B SaaS business. With that, over to you, Kali and Khadim.
Okay, thank you. One of the things I enjoy most is talking to our customers and hearing about all the amazing things that they're doing and the success that they're seeing using the DigitalOcean platform. Yancey and I were talking last week about it being one of the things that we miss most during this pandemic is really having the ability to connect with our customers. So it is such a pleasure tonight or today, where most of you are, to connect with Khadim, who is the co-founder and CEO of Whatfix. So welcome.
Thanks,
Thank
Carl.
you so much for joining.
Thanks, Carly. Thanks for having me here. My pleasure.
Yeah, so I want to dig into all of the great details about how you've built and scaled your SaaS business at Whatfix. But let's just start with a quick overview of Whatfix. Can you tell us just a little bit about the company, what the company does?
Sure. So we are a digital adoption solutions. It's a relatively a new category which was recently coined, and we are one of the key players in this category. So it's a SaaS platform, and we help users to get step-by-step navigational instructions on top of the apps they use, be it ERP, be it CRM, HCM, or any of the day-to-day app what an employee or a user might be using, by providing them overlay on top of it. You can say like how GPS navigates you when you drive, right? Like just in time when you need instructions. Similarly, Whatfix provides just-in-time instructions and helps a user to complete their task. Right. So what does it mean for the company? It increases the ROI, what they would see from better utilization of the softwares, reduce support and training time, increase or maybe you can say a quicker onboarding of the softwares. So that's a quick what we do. We have more than 500 customers globally. 100 of them are Fortune 1000. So good amount of large enterprises. 6 offices spread across 4 countries. That is, we have an office in San Jose, Atlanta in US. We have a couple of offices in Bangalore. We have in Melbourne. We have in London, UK. And I have 300 fantastic colleagues to work on a daily basis.
Wow,
in terms of, in terms of funding and all, we have raised so far $50 million with the Series C company. We have terrific investors like Sequoia, Cisco Investments, Stellaris Ventures, Helion, 8 Roads, F Prime, and several angels on board. 2 co-founders, myself and Parag Kumar. I am based out of primarily Bangalore, and then before COVID, I was more on the flights. And I have my other co-founder colleague who is based out of Bay Area. Yeah, so.
That's very impressive. And with so many Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies as your customers, I know that the company has created ripples and support and user onboarding. What would you say is sort of the secret to your success so far? What's your secret sauce? I
would keep it to very fundamental or very simple, actually, Kali, right? So there's no secret sauce. I think just keeping it simple. So first, the foremost is actually solving the right pain point, right? So if you look at the enterprise companies, one of the studies said like they have on an average an enterprise company have more than 1,000 softwares deployed. That means each employee of a large organization would have access to 50 to 60 of the software. Sometimes they don't even know, they don't even log in, or they don't even, like it's hard for them to complete some of the tasks, or it takes too much of time, right? On a company side, if you see, yeah, on an enterprise side, if you can see, like companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on digitizing the processes or digital transformation or deploying softwares, and they want to see the ROI on top of it. Right, so that's where actually Whatfix solves that pain point by showing them the right ROI, helping the users to utilize the software in a better way. So solving the right pain point is the one, and the rest of the rest I mentioned is just sticking to quite fundamentals, like hire the right folks, right? Like I'm a strong believer, like getting the right team and take care of them, and they'll take care of your dream, right? So getting the right folks, empathize with customers, right? Have a top-notch customer service. I was hearing Apurva of strong NPS, what you guys have. So similarly, we also focus a lot on customer service. And specifically for the customers, I would say be a partner rather than just a supplier or a vendor, right? Because they are looking to walk with you for next few years. They have trusted on you. So keep working closely with them, keep innovating, and I think you have the right formula.
Yeah. So you had mentioned the various different office locations, but you had built this business and scaled it out of India. So are there any key takeaways about building a successful global SaaS platform out of India and sort of managing different locations as well?
So today, Kali, as you mentioned, I think, and we've been seeing like SaaS companies are coming across the globe, right? Not only from India, from Israel, from Europe, from Australia, across the globe. I think cloud has democratized the play, right? And companies like DigitalOcean are helping different companies to come up rapidly. And now entrepreneurs can actually build and cater globally, right? For example, if you take Whatfix itself, 95% of our customers are outside India, even though we started from India. Mm-hmm. So since we did everything from India to start with, and most of our customers are global, our processes, our team is quite equipped to deal everything online, right? So that helps us to scale rapidly. And if you consider today's macro, right, what's happening, right, COVID and all situation, right? Yeah. So workforce is getting distributed, support has to be remote, sales has to be remote, right? Delivery has to be completely remote, and customers are now more and more acceptable to that. So a lot more opportunities are coming up, right? Would come up because this crisis accelerates the behavioral change, right? And when the remote is new normal, I think that's where the opportunity further increases. It was already there, now it just accelerates faster. And specifically talking about India, right? So India was always a hub for services companies, right? We had large service companies like Infosys, Wipro, and so on. And then all the tech MNCs started setting up their R&D centers. Almost every MNC has their R&D centers in India. So that means you have a huge supply of professionals, right? Folks who have terrific experience in building the products and providing strong services. So with this economic, with this macro environment, and then India being a hotbed for with the technology professionals, I think it was just a matter of time when SaaS boom had to happen.
Mm-hmm. And so I want to touch a little bit on your experience with DigitalOcean. I know you've been a longtime customer. How do you leverage the platform, and what's worked well?
Yeah, so we started using DigitalOcean for I think last 3 to 4 years, right? So we started with 3 servers. Just to give you the scale, today we have 31 servers in production, right? And all the droplets, I think as you call, are the one of the largest instances, right? High memory, high CPU. So the reason why we started and what helped us is actually one of the key criteria for us was we were catering to enterprise, as I mentioned earlier, and security and enterprise grade service was one of the prime importance for us. And DigitalOcean did provide all those. Apart from that, since we started 3-4 years back as a very young startup, we were a bit frugal, so we also wanted a cost-effective solution. But as we started working with DigitalOcean in the last 3-4 years, what we have realized is the service and the support is top-notch, right? I think in fact we never had an outage cause of DigitalOcean. So far, like it's like almost like 3 to 4 years of consistent service, and we've been seeing over the last couple of years, like DigitalOcean has been coming up is coming up with rapidly with new solutions.
Did we lose you?
No, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you great.
I don't know, I just lost the video. Okay. So I'll continue. So as I mentioned, so there was we never seen any outage from DigitalOcean, and continuously we have seen innovation, like recently VPC coming up from DigitalOcean, where we can set up a private corporate segment, and also this is really helpful to work closely and keep seeing the company evolve along with you, and keeps you like we don't have to bother about the infrastructure and other stuff, right? So yeah, so that's how we started using DigitalOcean, and we've seen the journey, a terrific journey together for the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm. And so how are you using it today to serve your customers? How do you use the DigitalOcean platform? What products also do you leverage?
Yeah, so DigitalOcean is our primary hosting, right? So our application, our integrations, our all are hosted on DigitalOcean. It's also our DevOps team, our firewalls, everything is part of DigitalOcean. So we're using all the servers, as I mentioned, as a primary production servers for getting to our global customer base.
Okay. And what would you say sets DigitalOcean apart from other providers that you have used or currently use now?
So the feedback what I kept getting from my engineering team and the product team is the simplicity, right? The console is so easy to use and manage, right? So I think it's very fast for us to roll out and add on our new servers quickly, increase our capacity. So the simplicity and that's one of the top feedback I keep getting. Second, as I was mentioning, like we never had an outage, so uptime, that's another one which I really appreciate. Support, very quick and very highly responsive. And finally, a reliable partner that I would say which sets you apart.
We love to hear. I love to hear all of that because that is our goal, is to serve our customers and to gain that trust and respect. So I'm happy to hear that. At the beginning of our chat, you had mentioned that you had recently raised a Series C. What are your future growth plans for the business? And how do you see a company like DigitalOcean supporting those growth plans?
Right. So as I was mentioning, like 95% of our revenue comes outside India, and primarily US is a huge market. Like 75% of our revenue comes from US. So most of our customer base is there, and so all of our production servers are also based out of US. But as we start scaling rapidly, we are looking to accelerate our growth in other regions like Europe. Germany, within Europe, Germany, UK, France, and other countries. We're looking to rapidly grow into ANZ region, plus Japan, Singapore, right? So primarily we would be looking like having our production servers or having our data centers across the globe, and we would like to work with DigitalOcean to see having set up all those data centers across different geographies. We also would like to actually utilize DigitalOcean to build multi-region, high availability and disaster recovery centers actually. So maybe that might be one of our plans where I think we can partner further with DO.
Okay, that's great. I know you had mentioned a few of these pieces before, but I just feel like during this time in this pandemic that we're facing, how has COVID-19 impacted your business, and sort of how is it also impacting your plans with the funding or just your growth plans in general right now?
As Carly, you would know, right? So most of the companies are actually coping up with this new normal, right? So nobody knows how long this will last. So most of the companies are trying to conserve some cash. So budgets are slashed down. Customers don't want to spend enough at this point. So we have seen some slowdown in our sales. But as I mentioned, as new normal is remote working, and companies would have to rely a lot more on tools and processes to ensure their productivity is top-notch, or remote workforce is still effective, right? And when tools and processes are key for remote workforce productivity, Whatfix actually becomes even more critical, right? So because we ensure the compliances of the process, we ensure the adoption of those tools. So we look forward, as soon as the situation becomes a little better and the budget opens up, we're looking forward to having a huge upside for digital ops and solutions like Whatfix. So during this time, actually, we have doubled up our investments on R&D. We are ramping up our product engineering team quickly, and we're seeing that we can utilize this time to further add a lot more innovations and feature to our product line, and utilize the similarly on the GTM side to enable our team to work with existing customers and help them out. So we have also come up with an initiative called Helping Hand, where we are providing additional licenses to our customers so that they can use Whatfix on their collaboration tools and other tools, and utilize the benefits of this adoption during this when their workforce is quite remote. Workforce is remote. Yeah, so that's how I would like to summarize.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate you taking the time. I want to just end with any maybe advice you have for the attendees today as they're thinking about scaling and growing their businesses. I know that you said there's no secret sauce, but whether it's COVID-19 related or just getting started, what's sort of a piece of advice that we can leave people with?
Yeah, so building any company it's not like a few quarters job actually, right? It's a long term, as Apoorv also mentioned, right? So how the innovation happened during the life cycle of DigitalOcean over several years, right? So similarly for Whatfix as well, and many other companies we have seen. So it's a several years effort. So if as an entrepreneur, if you take the right fundamental steps, keep it like hire the right team. Keep innovating, going into the details, and keep scaling the company in the right way. I think whether it's a COVID situation or not, I think companies should be able to survive and outlast them. So keeping the fundamentals right, I think, is the right way to build the company. And I think maybe the one advice which we keep saying, we keep hearing, right? So like growth at any cost. Now it looks like post-COVID it will be like unit economically positive growth, or growth which is sustainable. So I think that would be the right way to build the companies.
Yeah, and I love that your business focuses so much on helping your customers that you serve too, through the onboarding and training solution. So I wish you nothing but continued success. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us all today. And yeah, I thank you so much for being such a loyal, dedicated customer.
Thanks, Khadim.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks
Khadim.
for having me here.
Yes.
Yep.